Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So, on today's episode, I'm going to continue the theme from yesterday. I know the video ran a little long. There's just quite a bit to cover. Sometimes with commentary, that's kind of the thing that happens. You can get going, you can get on rants, and, you know, you have, even when you have, especially when you have a lot to kind of cover. But, okay, so on yesterday's episode, everybody, I was kind of talking more or less about the aftermath of the Chuck decision, and how there are many of those on Kickback, and even some who weren't Kickback, who were just seeming to go mad over the fact that that they got a win. Okay, so yesterday, as I was saying, I was talking about the madness that erupted after the Chuck decision. Talked a bit about MBA's meltdown, talked about the leaked DM from the parody account, Shane Holmelsberg with Kirsten Monroe. Did kind of touch a little bit on Kara Edwards, and I'm going to talk about her a bit more in this video. I'm going to talk about Monica a bit more, and Jamie, because they're at it again. It's kind of funny. They figured winning this one battle gives their narrative license, gives their narrative credibility, gives this whole listen and believe credibility. There are even some like Jesse Pridemore who are saying that, oh, this proves that Vic is a pedophile. Well, no, it didn't, because all it was trying to determine is whether or not he could push forward on saying that they defamed him, that they interfered with his contract. That's all the TCPA hearing does. And Ty is ready to appeal it. Okay? Ty is ready to appeal it. We're just all waiting on Vic to make the decision, and I think many of us are hoping that he does push forward. I said this yesterday. I intended to say it again yesterday as well towards the end. I did, and I'll try to say it again later here too. But evil succeeds when good people sit and do nothing. What these people did to Vic was evil, okay? And it wasn't for the sake of victims. It was for corruption, greed, and power and jealousy. Vic did not fit into their mold, and they despised the fact that he was more popular and successful than they were. Now, that doesn't mean that contrary to what they would want you to believe, that doesn't mean that he had all this huge power, okay? He was just, as this has all been going on, he's only been in the last couple of years, there have been some people at Funimation who were pushing the idea of having him become an ADR director, but as we have heard some of the stories, there's, Sabat and that group have said, no, we don't want him as a ADR director. He even moved back to Dallas from LA so he could work more with Funimation. And how did they repay that to him? By basically trying to kill his reputation and push him to insanity and push him to really end his own life. Monica Rial, Ron Toy, Jamie Marchi, Kara Edwards, Sean Schemmel, and everybody else who is siding with them and going with the whole listen and believe baloney. You're all very evil people. And when all is said and done, and you are You know, whenever that may be, whenever you're meeting your maker, you will answer for it. I can pretty much guarantee it. If not in this life, then in the next one. You will be called to task for your evil deeds. And before anybody gets any bright ideas here, no, I'm not threatening them. This is not a threat. This is life. Okay? Their whole, I know, like, Kara Edwards had tweeted, "Hi, bullies, nobody's listening to you. You're screaming into the void. And this could have serious legal, consequences for you, so let's all play nice and get along." Kara, one, where are these supposed death threats, or whatever you're saying? Well, I know it's more Monica saying death threat, but two, and what makes you think that we'll be called to task on anything that we say? You see, basically, in essence, by if that quote unquote win that you guys got there stands up, that opens you guys up too. You guys, since you're all involved in this, could be claimed as limited purpose public figures. And if you were to try to come after any of us, you could be TCPA'd out of it. We could be TCPA'd, meaning that we'd use the same logic. Kara Edwards, Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Ron Toy, they're limited purpose public figures. So they're open to scrutiny. Just like you did to Vic. The way the law works is that it applies to everybody. It's good when it works in your favor, but what happens when you're on the other end of it? Then what? Then you'll be going, "Oh, we need to appeal just like Vic did." Well, yeah, because of the fact Vic kind of got screwed over. And then, Monica, once again, is now, now that she won, now that they won that battle, it gives her license. I've been getting death threats. Well, where are these supposed death threats? And who specifically has threatened you? You say you have these documents, you send them to authorities. Well, why haven't there been any arrests made? I'm sure, even if the FBI is involved in this and Homeland Security is involved in it, we would have heard about who exactly got arrested for something like this. Monica, you are a liar. You are a bona fide liar. Show us the police reports. Show us these death threats that you keep saying you're getting. Produce some real tangible evidence, then maybe we'll believe you. But considering how much lying you all have done, you all are absolutely mad. And Jamie, you're a red-headed firecracker. If you were blonde, I would think most people would think you were a ditch. With how much stupidity comes out of your mouth. You little firecracker. It's just absolutely mad. It's madness here that we're at this point with the whole Me Too movement. It's utterly ridiculous. Listen and Believe is a blasted lie. You know, in Genesis, Joseph had to deal with this very, very problem. He was sold into slavery by his brothers, and he eventually became head servant in the house of a man named Potiphar, who was one of the king's generals. And Potiphar's wife had a thing for him. She wanted to seduce Joseph. But Joseph was not going to have it. He was not going to betray his master's trust in him. So she cornered him and tried to kind of force herself on her. She ripped his clothes, as he ran out of there trying to get out of the situation, she ripped off a piece of his garment and then screamed and started saying, Joseph went and tried to go into hiding because now, and she, when the other guards came in, she was sitting there sobbing with the piece of cloth in her hand going, well, Joseph, he tried to rape me. Sound familiar? And I'm using this gesture because doesn't it sound very similar to the kind of point that Jamie's claiming that Vic yanked her hair back? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Women can be the most beautiful individuals out there. We are dazzled by their beauty. But when you come across an evil woman, whether it be Potiphar's wife, whether it be Delilah who seduced Samson, or even if it's Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, or Kara Edwards, or any other woman out there who's levied false accusations against men, whether out of spite, or out of vengeance, or just simply out of a power grab. It's a damning thing if we allow ourselves to go into a gender civil war, which is where we're heading here. And if that does become the case, it will, as Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided upon itself cannot stand. It was meant for us, for men and women, to live in harmony. But all this animus and all this discord will burn all that down. Now, before I finish up this video, I have one last thing to say, and I meant to say this yesterday, but it got a little long yesterday. And I am hoping Vic will watch this, particularly this video, because I have a specific message for Vic here. And and just in case he doesn't see it directly, I'm hoping anybody close to him, anybody who has his ear, will listen to this next part I'm going to say, because this is something as you're pondering whether or not to appeal. This is something I want you to seriously consider. Okay? I'm going to open this part up by saying this. Evil succeeds when good people do nothing. Now, I know you probably think you've done something already with by just trying to get the case going, and that's good. But this is one fight that you have to see all the way through to the end. Because if you just let this, Vic, I understand you're a Christian, and I know that as Christians we're taught to turn the other cheek, to love our enemies. But there are times when God does call us to stand for justice, true justice. We're called not to bear false witness on each other, which they have. You know, and Kick Vic, the SJWs, this is a type of group, these are types of groups that just need to be utterly and just totally and utterly dealt with. They need to be put an end to. Their movement needs to be squashed. Because, Vic, if you end it here, you're giving credence to what they're saying. You're in essence admitting that they're right because you're not willing to fight all the way through. You know? And also, what happens to the next person who this happens to? Look at Todd's situation. Jesse Pridemore claimed that, and granted, there's even more evidence for Todd with the text messages that she's lying. But that's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Because by not seeing this case through to the end and appealing it, you are giving credence to the listen and believe movement. As you're thinking about appealing, I want you to seriously think about that. Think about what I just said. Ponder it. Take it to God. You know, take it to God and in prayer. See what He says. Because I don't think God wants to see His children suffer, and I don't think that God would approving the other side of bearing false witness against you. You know, it's kind of funny. I just was reading through Judges recently, and God called for Israelites to completely eliminate their enemies, and there was a reason why. But when the Israelites did not obey God's command of total annihilation, they were able to become influenced by, you know, with the remnants of the old empires. They started worshiping pagan gods, going away from God, and God rejected them. And then God would raise up judges to save them from the persecution that came and all that, and then they'd fall back into sin again because they just didn't listen. So I ask Vic, I ask anybody who may be close to Vic, who has his ear, if you are listening to this, if you're watching this video and listening to this, I ask you have him watch this, you know, if nothing else, at least this part of the video where I'm delivering this particular message here. You may not have wanted to become the poster boy for this move, to stand up against the Me Too movement, but the fact is you are. And you're not doing anybody any favors by throwing in the towel too quickly. I want you to really, as you're thinking about appealing, I really want you to think about some of this stuff. I am hoping you'll see this. I'll even tag you in, when I share it on Twitter. Evil succeeds when good people sit and do nothing. So with that, if you like this content, I ask that you, you can check the link below. If you want to contact me directly, my Twitter handle will be down there. You can direct message me. I'm also helping to promote other dub companies. Remember, guys, Funimation is not the only game in town. Other dub companies out there you can check out and appreciate their the VAs that work for them and try to get them. As always, guys, if you want to get your favorite voice actors and even some voice actors you don't know, the best way to get them to cons is to contact your local cons and have them invited. Let me see. And I also am still promoting the GoFundMes and the Indiegogos. Guys, as always, never feel like you have to donate. If you're able to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you already donated, please consider donating again. And if you're not able to donate, you can still help out by sharing the sharing the links. You can still help out by sharing the links. So by sharing the link. So, and if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I look forward to the conversation with you guys. As long as we can be respectful with each other about it. No harassing, taunting, or no nasty comments. Okay? And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.